Today we're going to talk about something you might not have ever thought about, a secret world of diplomacy that's happening right under our noses in the very cities we call home.
So, let me start with a question. Why would a city in China gift a giant panda statue to a park in Phoenix, Arizona? I mean, think about it. It sounds weird, right? Totally random, but it's not. It's actually a clue, and it points to this huge shift in how global politics works.
And the answer to that whole panda mystery? Well, it has a name. And it's a concept that is quietly changing, well, everything.
It's called paradiplomacy. And what that means is, basically, cities and provinces are doing their own foreign relations. They're not waiting around for their national governments to tell them what to do. Nope. They're jumping onto the global stage themselves.
So yeah, it's not just for nations anymore. Cities are out there becoming these powerful international players in their own right. They're shaping how the world sees them, pulling in money and talent, and even getting involved in huge global issues like climate change.
Okay, so how does a city actually do this? Well, there's a really simple way to think about it. It basically boils down to two things: what a city says and what a city does.
So, on one hand, you have the doings. These are the concrete, physical actions a city takes. Think hosting big events, giving gifts, forming networks with other cities. Then you have the sayings. These are the stories they tell about themselves. You know, the official slogans, the branding, what the mayor says in a speech.
And here's the clever part. The magic happens when they put these two together. The action, the doing, makes the message, the saying, feel real and believable. And the saying explains why the doing matters. When you combine them, that's how a city builds its global reputation.
All right, let's make this real. We're going to go back to that panda statue and look at the city that sent it, Chengdu, China. They have this down to a science. Let's look at their playbook.
And Chengdu's strategy is super deliberate. It's got a few key parts. We're talking hosting, networking, gifting, exhibiting, and believe it or not, gardening. Yeah, gardening. Let's break a couple of these down.
First up, the doing of hosting. So when Chengdu hosts something huge, like the World University Games, it's not just about sports. It's a massive PR move. It's an action that's designed to scream to the rest of the world, hey, look at us. We're modern. We're successful. We matter.
And of course, they pair that action with a powerful saying. The slogan for the games was, "Chengdu makes dreams come true." It sounds kind of catchy, but it wasn't just a tagline. They put it everywhere. It was a message, hammering home this story that Chengdu is the place to be, a city of opportunity.
Okay, next up in the playbook is gifting. And this is way more than just being nice. Think about it. When Chengdu sent medical supplies to other cities during the pandemic, that was his strategic doing. It was a move to show they were a responsible global partner. And then you have the statues.
And here we are, back to our panda. The statue they sent to Phoenix, it was actually called maternal love. It shows a mother panda hugging her baby. So they're using this symbol they're famous for, the panda, to send a very specific message about friendship and connection. It's a real physical thing that tells a story and cements that relationship, even from thousands of miles away.
And get this, it goes even further. Chengdu has whole museum exhibits just for the gifts it gets back from other cities. They've even turned parks into these, diplomatic gardens, filled with sculptures given to them by their international friends. They are literally reshaping the physical city itself to show off their global connections.
Okay, so that's Chengdu's playbook. Pretty wild, right? But what's the bigger picture here? Let's zoom out a bit and talk about why this whole city diplomacy thing is such a big deal.
Well, it's kind of like a chain reaction. It starts with one thing. You host a conference. That helps you build a reputation for being a great, capable city. That reputation brings in investment, and smart people want to move there. And before you know it, all of that gives you real clout, a real voice in big global conversations.
Now, don't get me wrong, countries are still the main players on the world stage, but cities are catching up and fast. They're not just sitting back and letting the national governments run the show anymore. They're actively fighting for their own seat at the table.
So why should you care? Well, for one, cities are now in the business of building their own brand, their own global identity. And sometimes what they're doing supports what their country is doing. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it can even challenge their own national government. It just means that the world of politics has gotten way more complicated, with all these new layers and new players in the game.
So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you walk through your town and you see, a cultural festival from another country, or a weird new statue that just appeared,
or you hear your mayor's flying off to some international conference, take a second and ask yourself, what's the secret diplomacy my city is up to?